My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Into the Breach. My apologies on the slight delay between episodes for this series. They have been brought to you by assignments. Worse than finding blood in your stool. It's just not assignment. Too many. There were too many at the same time. Alright, so what squad are we going to choose? We've already got +1 mech move, +1 mech reactor, and mech gains armored, which means I maybe not want to go to this squad, right? Maybe I want to go for a different squad, especially one that doesn't have all of its achievements unlocked. We could try and do Blitzkrieg, but then who in Blitzkrieg needs the armor, right? I mean, like, there's a couple who could use it, sure, but who needs it? Could do Steel Judoka. That was one of my favorite squads. Judo Mech is already unbreakable. This is curious, very curious indeed. So change your position. I can have two people armored at the same time. That actually might be super handy. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do Steel Judoka. Let's go for a 4-island victory and try and get that unbreakable going on. This was probably my favorite squad. It's between this and Hazardous Mechs at the very least. Alright. So unfortunately we don't have enough to make buildings immune here. We could make ally immune on that one, or we could actually do +1 damage on the Vex. So if we throw Abe into this instead, then we could immediately activate the Vex hormones. That's probably going to be really important for us. Okay, none of these seems significantly worse than the rest of them. Maybe Pinnacle was worse, just because of that that Scion. But I guess if that Scion is a problem, I would want to have the extra damage on the cluster artillery before I fight it, because I wouldn't want to have to deal with armored on enemies, because then they're doing less damage to one another. Alright, well, this is probably going to be the easiest one to start with. So let's actually start off easy, because we are in the hardest mode this game has to offer, which means I'm probably screwed. Okay? That doesn't seem that bad. Alright. Let's see if there's any setup we can get that's actually really good. So my opening positioning has been rightly critiqued as being one of the worst aspects of my play in this game. I tend to agree. Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. I could actually have this Scorpion never hook anyone, or rather not web anyone in the opening if I placed here, here, and here, but then I really give up the middle of the map. I think I have to just let him. Okay, and then I've got the grab mech on the outside to try and pull anyone away from the train or pull away from a particularly bad web. That's fine. Less fine. So obviously the primary thing that would be super useful would be pushing this Scorpion back one space. Then it's going to miss. What are my other manipulation options? I've got push to the side, I've got a throw, and I've got a pull. So due to the turn ordering, this would have the Scarab die. I could actually kill that Scorpion this turn, or I could have it block. I've got the choice. Well, look, this is non-negotiable. That's happening. Because your extra damage is going to make sure you kill this Scarab in time. I do want to murder the Scorpion, but I could actually just leave it ready to be murdered later by pushing it back there. And then I can block a spawn, but I really don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, actually just going to reposition myself to get control of the center of the map. Yeah, I don't want to block the spawn there because then that's just going to delay that spawning by another turn, and then I'm going to have a way worse turn later in the game. Awesome. Well, that could be a lot worse. We can have these basically attack one another. When I say basically, I mean not at all. Now, the problem we primarily have right now is this Firefly. If I had like a shield bash, I'd be in a really good position, but I don't. So if I drop a strike on this space, I can actually knock the Firefly down one space, knock this Firefly out of a direction, both of them take 1 damage, and then I just throw this Scorpion and kill it. That seems weak. My other option, however, is have the Siege Mech knock the Judo Mech out of its position so that these fight one another. And then I'm still not really doing anything to this Firefly. I do have the option to actually knock this Firefly 1 space down as well. No, I don't. Alright, because if I knocked the Firefly by putting a bomb in F2, then the Firefly takes 1 damage to the bomb, takes 1 damage to... This is the artillery, I mean. Takes 1 damage to the bump. And then I would have to use the gravity mech to kill the Scorpion on the far side by pulling it again for another bump. That's 2 bumps on Nora, and bumps are not decreased in damage by the natural armor. And then Nora would throw the Firefly. That would kill those, but it would still leave this Firefly directly in the path of the train and attacking a building. Both bad. Both big no-nos. Like, in terms of turn efficiency, this can't really be beat. Oh, this is what I do. Definitely. Because then we get to throw Nora here. You take 1 damage, and then you prevent that spawn, and you take 1 more. That is rather Nora can throw. I'm not naming the bugs. Especially not naming them after my own squad. There's a couple unique things we can do here, but unfortunately, like, there hits the supply train, right? Oh, but I only need to do 2 damage to this Firefly, so I could actually just drop it here as well. Oh, except for the fact that the Scorpion can only be done in 1 direction. Alright. That makes sense then. I guess I'm just not doing anything about this Alpha Firefly, and I'm just going to diffuse the 2 situations on the side. Like, I could just throw this Firefly out of position, and then I could drop a bomb behind this Scorpion, but I'm trying to find a way where I can actually get some kills in here. Because if I can get some wanton murder... Let's reset that. Actually, should we? Because that's still where we need to pull you to. Like, I guess I can stand here because you only do 1 damage, right? So I could just stand here and do that still. And the reason I would do that is so then I can throw Nadia over, get some more damage in. All right. First mission, no problems. I'm pretty certain this is on hard. I mean, we had an alpha in the first mission. How likely is that? Let me just double check here. Yeah, difficulty hard. All right. Archival. Let's try and speed this up a little. Ooh, that is not bad positioning for you to be in. 2 rounds until you're awake, though. Yeah, we're going to need the ability to throw you out of position. All right, let's go with that. So uninterfered, 2 of those are building attacks. Unfortunately, even with interfere, ooh, I did not know that the artillery actually was already available. Huh. Fancy that. So this is probably one of the most functional things that I can do here. Then I'll pull you 1 space over because that one's already dying to its burning, right? And unfortunately, I now, due to that, won't be able to... Was there any order where I could attack this Firefly? No, because I'd have to pull it anyway. Because now I can't just have the artillery go over and attack the Firefly, because then the Firefly attacks me back, kills the artillery. Yeah. And I can't also position the artillery more central, unfortunately. Well, there is such an effective hit just by moving to there. It's also a block as well. Holy heck. That could scarcely be more effective. I actually will let that blocker spawn for another turn. I could have just decided to kill it. But instead, I'm going to let it block that spawn. So I can do 2 damage to the alpha already. This is 1. And then this is 2 plus a burn. And the really good thing about the burn is you're going to take 1 damage this turn and then 1 damage at the start of the next turn. You're dead, right? It's just you don't know it yet. Now, I'm going to voluntarily make that pull. And I'm also going to be letting 3 spawn this turn because it's the final turn. I want to gather some more juicy experience. Well, now you're explosives. That's no good. I may have made a mistake. Yeah, I might have made a really bad mistake. So if I pull you 1, you've got 4 movement. 1, 2, 3. Throw you, you take 1 damage, you burn. Everything burns at the same time, so the Alpha Scorpion and the Blast Scion will die at the same time, which means the Alpha Scorpion's explosive won't trigger. Okay, never mind, we're fine. I mean, I could even just straight up kill it. Or I could straight up kill 2 of them. Hell yeah. That seems pretty effective from my reckoning. And what a reckoning it was. Beautiful. Consider yourselves protected. So this is just going to come down pretty much entirely to how goofy the AI wants to be, right? I'm trying to give the gravity mech a long corridor where it can just pull people into traps. And everything else I'm just trying to get a little bit forward. That's quite goofy, for example. Alright. So I'm feeling almost certainly this is a pull because that's an insta-kill on an Alpha Firefly. That seems, I don't know, just pretty good. Now, unfortunately, there are 3 building attacks going on at the same time. So maybe I actually leave this Alpha Firefly, because it is worth noting, if I use the Alpha Firefly, I'm not going to be defending any of these buildings. So now, let's consider who can defend which buildings, right? The Judo Mech literally is incapable of defending any building except for the one directly behind him, and that would be by throwing the Scarab away. And not even into a dead place, it's just throwing the Scarab away. If I block a spawn this turn, I can pull the Scorpion up 1 space, which allows Maxim to deal 2 damage to the Scorpion, as well as sink this Scarab. Yeah. That's how it's gonna have to be. Yeah, buildings aren't immune yet, you goddamn moron. That's why I initially didn't plan on doing that turn. I had an idea that it was wrong, I just didn't know why. I can do exactly the same thing, but still kill by doing this. Just not too pleased about the early usage of that there. Really could have saved my reset for another quite long while. Okay. That's unfortunate. That's actually perfect. I should probably not block that many spawns anymore. Oh, okay. I would stand here and then do a throw over. But then this Firefly would attack the space that Nora is standing in, and that's fine, except for the fact that it would light Nora on fire, and I do not want to do that. The ongoing fire damage is going to make it really difficult to end with less than 4 mech damage. So I've got this kill, but it does put me really out of position. Still might be my best kill, though. Oh, no, it's not. It is totally not. Get Maximum to a better position, then we make that throw. And this is largely just going to help me control the center of the map a lot better. I'll also burn that space just in case. No reason not to launch something. It's fine, I can actually push both of those away in the same move. So the Scarab actually attacks first. Scarab does 1 damage, so I can't actually have it kill a Scorpion for me, unfortunately. Maxim can do this. This is the perfect push. It's just, what can I do after that? Right? Because right now, this isn't really accomplishing anything. I can pull the Scarab down one space, having RB stand here. It also blocks the Firefly with the armored unit. Like, this has a weird efficient, like, it's super efficient on preventing attacks, but it does nothing to my enemies. Like, at all. At the very least, I get to block one spawn. It leaves 2 Scorpions on the map as well, who are now free to completely ruin my positioning. So I can throw this to just get rid of you. Hang on. No, the Scorpion attacks first, so I can't actually have the Scarab kill the Scorpion for me. Fair enough. Can deal 2 damage to this Firefly without much difficulty. So with 2 actions, I have the ability to kill the Firefly and the Scorpion over here. That would be Maxim drops a bomb in B2, kills the Scorpion, does 2 damage to the Firefly and 1 damage to Maxim, and then Judo Mech just comes over and throws. Could Judo Mech even do that? No, not really. Oh, this is actually much more frustrating than I thought it was. Alright, well, we're not getting many kills this turn, but that's okay. We're surviving, and that's sometimes all you can do. I can kill you. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, Arbe, come up here and do that. Then Maxim, you're gonna stand... Nope. No, you're not. And I've already used my reset. I can't dislocate both of these. Because I'm gonna... No, never mind. I totally can. No, but my plan was to dislocate both of them and then have someone standing here in this line to prevent the Firefly from taking its hit. And unfortunately, due to their turn order, I can't just, like, move the Firefly over. I'm taking 1 damage against the building no matter what here, right? And that's just a misplay. That's this was entirely preventable. Yeah. If I target here, I push you back, you're still attacking it. If I target here, I kill you, I push you across, you're targeting something else instead this time. I target here, I push you across, he takes a hit, and then you kill him. Like, it happens no matter what I do right now. Yep, I screwed that up. All right. Bugger. Lost some casualties I need not lose there. That's okay, just 166 lives perished in a fire because I'm a moron. Alright, let's go to Historic County. We need to get rid of that blast zone literally immediately. Because these Scorpions are probably going to track onto these Archive tanks, and then killing the Scorpions will kill the Archive tanks in that case. Okay. Great. Good to see you, Pod. Well, good news number one, they're not attacking the buildings. I can leave them explosive this turn. I really wish I could get Nora to this space. I technically could. It would be using Arbe to move Nora once, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Nora stands here, throws the Scorpion over the top. Nora collects the time pod. The Scorpion takes 1 damage and then blocks the Vec from spawning, takes another damage. It's not the worst plan I've ever had. It might not be the worst plan I've ever had. It helps block a spawn, which is actually going to delay the Vec onslaught until turns where I have these extra tanks to help me out. Depends how gung-ho I want it to be. I could actually kill. I could kill a Scorpion this turn as well. It would cause the Judo Mech to take 1 damage. No, that is definitely the best move. Okay, Maxim takes this shot. You 1 space forward. Nora goes over, collects this pod. Throw you over the top. Now, you're going to explode, but you're only going to deal 1 damage to Nora, which is a wee bit to someone who has armor. And we've got our time pod collected, but we also get to clean up the map while blocking a spawn. It also dealt 2 damage to one of the remaining units on the map, which is just handy as heck. And that remaining unit, it is worth noting, is effectively just a bomb. It's just a bomb waiting to explode. I definitely want to move the Alpha Scarab over. I would like to move it up, but if Arbe moves you up, you're going to deal 3 damage to Arbe. Because Arbe would be standing here in order to push you upwards. That was garbage. Didn't even think about the explosive quality. As soon as I made that throw, I was like, hang on, there's something wrong here. Because I definitely want Maxim to bomb this space. Pushes the Blast Iron 1 over, pushes the Alpha Scarab 1 over. They both take 1 damage. The Alpha Scarab also blocks a spawn, takes 1 more damage. Deals damage to each of my units, but they're fine. Beauty. They're both armored. It's going to be difficult for them to take much more damage. Especially once I've killed that Scion. They're all grouped up. You could totally just kill them all using an explosive chain reaction. In fact, I made that sound like I was qualmed about it, but I'm not at all. That is totally what we do, isn't it? hang on. There is a really clever way to do this. Hang on, I just need the time to think. I think I need to kill this building with Maxim, which gives me the space for Arbe to stand for Arbe to stand where it is. Archive tank takes a shot against the Firefly. The Firefly runs into the Scarab. They're on 1 HP, 1 HP, 1 HP. And then the Arbe stands up behind and pulls one up. Yep. The actual correct answer here involves destroying a building. How cool is that? And then we'll just murder the Scion. That was really cool. I'm really proud of that move. I can actually just push this Firefly one space down. It'll deal 1 damage to the Firefly. Is there any way I can kill both? My initial read is no. They're just not close enough together to do a bunch of bumps or anything like that. Yeah, my initial read is that I can't get them both to kill one another, but... Three damage. Okay, I thought that was only going to do 2. So that's why I did the extra damage there. All right. Let one of them murder the other for me. Thank you very much. The Steel Judoka saved us. Yes, yes, we did. And in style, I'll remind you, dear friends. Whew. Move again after shooting Archimedes. Archimedes, get out of there. It's filthy. Gravity mech. It has to be gravity mech, right? It's just so the gravity mech can then set themselves up later. Or maybe it's Nora. The judo mech. Because your positioning is super important. It's one of the two. It's probably not Siege Mech. It's the only one I'm pretty certain it's not. If I moved Arbe over to the Siege Mech, I can now give you the extra damage. Or I could give you the Buildings Immune. Buildings Immune's actually probably super important to do right now, right? Yeah. Well, look, we'll drop Arbe and drop you in there. Get that Building Immune active. Building Immunity active, rather. And you know what? No one's doing a double shot this turn anyway, so... let's just install you. Firefly leader, okay. We can't just put you in the drink, and unfortunately, it's probably not going to be that easy to just diffuse your attacks. We're basically just going to try and block your attacks with a bunch of your friends. If at all possible. Let's form a wall here. So at the very least we have like a standard front. Yeah. Understandable. Now we have the ability to just pull the Firefly leader 1 up. It will block a spawn and then it'll take a damage. But it'll also miss its shot. We could also push it 1 space down. Those are our 2 options, right? Up or down. I'd love to set the Firefly on fire, but I can't do that right now. Unfortunately, it is massive. You can see in its unit status, massive units can walk in water, but it will prevent shooting. can't do damage to it while it's standing on that space. Although, due to the attack order, I could actually just throw it over myself, block a spawn with Nora, and then it'll kill the Scarab. The Scarab will explode, dealing another damage to the Firefly leader, and then it takes another damage due to the spawn. Oh, that is totally it. Oh my gosh, is that not it? Yes! Oh my gosh, is that not it? Yes. That's not correctly said at all. Alright, and then we'll pull you one space in as well, because then you're going to take the damage from the exploding Scion. I believe that the explosion of the Scion will light that space on fire as well. That explodes, lights that on fire, and then next turn in the fire, in the burning phase, you'll die. Beautiful. That was insane. That was an insane opening turn right there. It might actually be correct for me to just block 2 spawns right now. I think it is, actually. I think it is here. Could have blocked another one, in fact. So 4 enemies are trying to spawn this turn? Yeah. There's a lot of fire on this map right now. And you're attacking first. That's really rough, because then I can't use the Firefly to... I could actually use you for a block. That's totally what we do. This shouldn't burn Archimedes, right? I have reset turn just in case, but it shouldn't burn Archimedes. Yeah, because you actually get pushed off of the space that's starting to take the fire damage. And then I can move one over here. And then just repair. So you're dead before you ever do anything. You block a spawn and you take a fire damage. And we got to block 2 spawns with our enemies there. So literally, we're just going to have 2 enemies in the next round. And one of them is elite. All right, and then I can just push you into the drink. It's the easiest thing I may ever do in my life. Goodbye forever. And if I pull you one over and then throw you, you'll take 1 damage to the fire and die. Hell yeah! Now that is an island! What up, hard mode? I shouldn't get cocky. I'm gonna get destroyed soon. Mech can move through enemy units is actually ridiculous. Heavy artillery, what's this? Oh, it's just like a huge suppression for an area. Oh, that might be amazing. We actually end up with areas like that because we do kind of clump our enemies together because we have the supreme ability to move them. That said, with an upgrade to my base cannon, I do 2 damage to everything except for the center target in that. That's actually just worse. No, I'll take the pilot, thank you. Now, the judo mech is invariably going to need Henry Kwan. Your movement is of ultimate importance. And you stand in super close range with all of the enemies, so it just makes sense. We're going to be losing both of these. They have a +1 mech move on one of the characters. It's fine. Alright, spend some of the reputation we've picked up. We'll drop these 2 pilots, thank you. Sign receiver. Mechs use bonuses from Vex Scion. Probably not necessary. Brute class weapon. We don't have brute. Rocket artillery. We're never really going to have the power to utilize that, are we? Not really. I think we take the storm generator when we take 3 reactor cores, and then we sell the storm generator at the end of the next island to get 1 back. As for the location for these 3 reactor cores, the siege mech does get more up close and personal. Sorry, the gravity mech gets more up close and personal. Maybe I give the siege mech fire and forget. Yeah, I think I'm swapping these 2. All right. Now, buildings immune is super important still, so we'll immediately get that. You have the ability to give us another one on the Vec hormone. I probably don't need to go for the next level of that yet. As much as I'd like to get the throw increase here, I still don't think that's necessary. I think we'll go fire and forget or +1 damage. I think it's fire and forget. No, I think it's +1 damage. Sorry. Yeah. So I'm going to go for the +1 damage here primarily so that I can just kill a Scion on sight so that I don't have to deal with the extra Scion bonuses for an extra turn. Now, as for our next island, I'm not certain. The digger seems like it would be probably the hardest thing for me to deal with. Like, how would I deal with an alpha digger, right? It erects a bunch of rocks around it. So the gravity mech can pull it for 1 damage. Siege mech can... Like, I can't displace many things at the same time. So how am I going to do that? I would have to destroy a rock and then throw. So a digger is actually going to take me like 2 motions to kill. Or rather to even displace from its initial target. Bombs are going to be annoying, but I can deal with them. Centipedes are going to be annoying, but I can deal with them. In fact, centipedes are primarily going to be helpful. I think we're actually going to go to Detritus Disposal because I do want to do a 4-island completion here, and I think the best way that I'm going to be able to do that is by taking out the area where the diggers exist earlier rather than later. So in the next episode, my name has been Rhapsody for the moment, but in the next episode, we're going to be going to the Detritus Disposal, or Detritus Disposal if you want to pronounce it correctly. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.